I wanted to talk carbide inserts with you for a few minutes here. This is a question that often comes up in comments or on social media. You know, people asking about a carbide insert. So I wanted to show you my everyday go-to insert for most of my steel turning applications. And this is the insert that I like using. This is an Iscar insert, and this is one that's been used, but I'm going to be showing you it as an example. But this one right here is the Iscar. That's this guy right here, the Iscar. I like CNMG. This is a 431 IC 8250, and in the chip breaker profile is a TF. All right, so the IC 8250 TF. This is my this is the pack that I've been going through. You see, I had one left right there that hasn't been used yet. So I went ahead and reordered and got me one pack in. This just came in the other day, and I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and give this another mention here. We've talked about carbide way in the past. It's been a few years. I did a shop talk video on these inserts. Looks like they've changed up their packaging a little bit since the last time I've ordered. But I got to say that these particular inserts right here by Iscar are some excellent turning inserts, and I think you get a lot of bang for the buck here. So these usually average around $7.25 a piece for these inserts right here, and they do a great job. They make a great chip profile. They have great chip control, especially when you're using these to make lighter cuts. And lighter cuts, I mean 100, 125, 150 thousandths to pass on the lathe. These will create a nice little tight chip formation and just curl right over the side and drop down into the chip pan. To me, that's what's important in an insert. I'm not so much concerned about the name that's on this insert, who makes it, where it come from. I just want an insert that's going to do the job that I want it to do. So I've actually got several different inserts that I use. I don't use just Iscar, but Iscar has been excellent for me. I haven't never had any problems, so I have no reason not to use them. Also like using those for the LNMX inserts, you know, for heavy turning, you know, heavy metal removal. So I just wanted to show that, you know, this is the guy I like to use right here because I get so many people that ask about it. And the reason why I like using a CNMG insert, this 80-degree rhombic, is because you have 8 corners to use. All right, so when you're conventionally turning, this is our everyday turning tool right here. I have a different insert in there. We'll talk about that in a sec. You know, so you have 4 corners that you would generally use up in this everyday turning tool right here. All right, right and left hand. All right, and then you have these guys right here, which is, this is a MCKNR, and also have a MCKNL, which is the left-hand version of this right here. All right, you see that pocket there, and you see what edge you're using. So whenever you burn up the 8 corners, I'm sorry, the 4 corners that you would typically turn with, all right, you can put it on this guy right here, and you can use this for facing. Use these corners right here, burn those corners up. That's what I love about this, the versatility of them. So I use this guy often. Keep it in the one of the tool holders, and just if you got a bunch of facing ops to do, this is a great one to do it. You can you know, turn it a little bit more with that multi-fix and use it for chamfering, you know, things like that. If you wanted to, you could kick it this way if you had a lot of room, and use this side for turning on the lathe. All right, so there's that guy right there, and then we also have the MCHNN. This is the tool that I'm oftentimes using for chamfering. So it's a great profile, great corner to use for using these flats here for chamfering, or come in and undercut. If you've got a shaft you need to come in and do an undercut, this is a great tool for that, you know, for doing some profiling. All right, so there you go. CNMG, I like the 431. I was going to mention that too. So oftentimes you see people running these inserts in a 432 corner radius. I like a 431. I think it gives you better chip control, and it just puts off a better chip, especially whenever you're taking light cuts. All right, and you're not taking a bunch of metal. So I prefer the 1 radius for my everyday use. And then if you're going to get into some, you know, heavier turning, if you're removing a lot of stock, that's when you want to jump up to a number 2 radius, that's what this guy is right here. Now this was a sample from Tungaloy. This is one of theirs. This is their, I'm trying to remember what it is now, the T9215. And not that there's anything wrong with this insert. I tried it on some 4140 and I wasn't getting the chip control that I wanted. It was popping off. It was stringing longer curly chips and popping them off there. And also, you know, this is a number 2 radius, which I prefer the number 1 radius. But this was just a sample that they give me to try, and I just like my IC8250 from Iscar right there. So let's back up just a second. One other reason why I like using them is I got this face mill right here. This uses the same insert right there, a CNMG 400 size of insert, and it uses this what I always like to call the odd corner right there. So whenever you burn them up in the lathe, you can put them on this holder right here and use them up there. This was a gift from a viewer quite a while back, but I do recall these being on eBay listed under Discotech face mill. I don't know if they're still available. I haven't looked, but they are great to use for that. So one more note I'll add. This is another good reason why it's nice to have the engineer's black book. It's got a whole chapter in here dedicated to the nomenclature for carbide inserts and tooling that goes with it. So a lot of guys usually are confused about this, but if you get this book right here, you can study it, read it at night, sit in your chair, and start figuring all this stuff out and understanding what all these letters and numbers mean. So, you know, our insert is going to be a CNMG 432. So you can take these right here. It breaks it down into the size, the relief angle, the tolerance, and then the chip breaker right there. Okay. And then this right here is going to talk about the size and then the manufacturer's designation for the chip breaker right there. So, you know, we're running a 431 TF, which is Iscar's designation for their chip breaker for this particular insert right here. All right, so get you one of these books if you don't have one, and go through here, and you can start learning how to break these inserts down. If you've got a tool that you need some inserts, you know, you can use this book right here to figure out what it is that you need to get. There's a whole section on threading inserts right there. It's got bars, all that stuff, and it even covers the metric sizes as well. So nice little book right there. Always go to this for reference. All right, and then I was going to show these as well. This is some of the Tungaloy inserts that I got. This is a CNGP 430, and that's what I've got mounted on here right there. So the CNGP has sort of that positive chip breaker molded into it. It's a negative rake insert, but it has positive cutting geometry to it. It also has I believe it's a 4/1000 corner radius. Let me see, look in the book right here. Yeah, so 430 is 4/1000 corner radius ground on the corner of that. So this is a good tool whenever you're taking very light cuts or finishing cuts, or maybe difficult to chip, you know, material. I was using this for some stainless 304 and it worked excellent. So anyway, I like those inserts right there. I was out, so I just got some of these from Tungaloy, and so far they're working out pretty good. All right, these are some inserts that I like using. These are the Seco, and this is the TH1000 is the grade. MF5 is your chip breaker. CNMG 432, that's the size insert. But these guys right here, the TH1000 grade, is excellent for hard to machine materials. I even use this insert right here to machine induction hardened rod with coolant, and it lasted a long time. So I like keeping these things around for those tough machining jobs, and I was out of them, so I went ahead and picked up another pack. And that's exactly what I'm saying about I don't use just one grade of or one brand of insert. You know, I've got several that I like. It just depends on the insert and how it functions and how it lasts for me. So I just stick with what I like, and these are some of the ones that I like right here. I got another little light job to do for Tim down at Optimum Performance, and what he has got here is 3 pairs of wheel spacers that he has had machined, and he says that he slightly over-engineered them. And what the problem is this corner radius right up in here, it's too large of a radius, so it's not allowing the wheel or whatever it is he's mounting here to go all the way up to the face there. So he asked me if I could machine that radius out, just leave it a minimal radius. I have not measured that to see what it is right now, but what we'll probably use is just one of my, probably a 431, maybe even a 432 carbide, insert, and go in there and just clean that radius up to where it's a very minimal. So, we might leave a 1/32 radius in there. Just measured that. I believe it was 70. Let's see what it is. I haven't forgotten now. I want to say it was 70.5 or 74. I just cannot remember that kind of stuff. So 70.5 millimeter is what that's measured. Not that it really matters. And it looks like the thickness of them is going to be 12 millimeter. So yeah, right around 12 millimeters on the thickness there. So I guess he's spacing something out 12 millimeters. Interesting, on the back side, you can kind of see it in the light there. There is a very slight undercut on the inner portion of the ring here, so that whenever this is pulled up against the flange, it's actually pulling up on the outer diameter right here of the spacer. So just observing it. So we'll go over to the lathe and just do this quickie little job and get rid of that big radius in that corner for him. We're going to use my old 3-jaw chuck right here to do this. It's just much easier to adjust these jaws, or flip them around, should I say, than it is the 6-jaw chuck. And this usually does pretty good, holding on the outside. It's not going to run perfectly true. It's probably going to be off a couple thousandths. Let's see. All right. But I wanted to show you also. I went ahead and we inspected what the radius is on there now, so it looks like they used a 1/8 radius in that corner, and I decided I'm going to go with a 432 insert, which is actually a 1/32 radius. So this is the radius that will end up being in the corner here of the part there. He just said he needs a little radius, but minimal, so that he's got clearance there. So all we're going to do is just remove that radius. This is all going to be done by hand and sight. Set my cross slide there. I just want to make sure I come in where it's cleaned it up, since we're running off a couple of thou. Same thing here. We'll come out to the anodizing, sneak in on it. going until it just starts cleaning it up all the way around, and then we'll go back into our 0 here on the cross slide. Make sure that I have that cleaned up there. And there we have it. Just as simple as that. We'll take it out and we'll keep on knocking them out of here. Well, we got all 6 of them finished up. That was a very simple operation right there. You don't often get machining jobs that are just that easy. Of course, machining the whole thing is, you know, where the time comes in, but fortunately I didn't have to do that. That was done on a CNC machine and just touched up in the lathe for that radius right there. So these are all done. I'm going to go ahead and get these wrapped back up, put in the box, and get them sent back down to Tim. I have a few very cool viewer gifts that's been coming in over the past 2-3 months or so, and I got a few things that I want to share with you, and just kind of give thanks to those folks that's been sending in these very generous tools and gifts to the channel here. I know that I don't show them near as much as I used to in the earlier videos, but I really do try to dedicate most of the time slot here for the machining and the projects around here in the shop more than the the viewer mail that's been coming in. But saying that, there's a lot of generous people out there that send in a lot of really nice things, and it just amazes me some of the tools that people will purchase or maybe they have purchased and send in. So I just want to thank everybody that supports me in whichever way that is, whether it be you sending in a gift or a tool. I also have my Patreon supporters. I still have all of my long-term Patreon supporters. I really want to say thank you for that. I appreciate that. And we also have folks out there that want to support through PayPal as well. You know, there's links up there in the top of the channel page for Patreon and PayPal. And, you know, I just want to say thank you to everybody for the continued support around here of the channel. All right, I really enjoy sharing these videos with you and bringing you the projects that I get into week to week out here. All right, so for everybody that has sent me gifts or tools or, you know, viewer mail, I just want you to know that I have them, and I'm giving you my sincere thanks for that. All right, but I do have a couple that I want to share with you. We'll start with these guys right here. These are the Just Right safety cans. And you know, about a month or so back, we did the video of the Monarch lathe doing the oil change and the clutch repair, and I was showing the kerosene, you know, being the cleaner that I use for the machine over there. And I had made mention that I wanted to get another one of these Just Right safety cans to keep my small amount of kerosene in for cleaning around here in the shop. And I didn't say that as a way to have somebody send me a can, but these just showed up out of nowhere, both within the same week. It was really funny. So we've got two of these safety cans, and this one was given to me by Chris Hughes. You know, they came from Amazon. They just have them direct shipped there. So Chris Hughes decided he wanted to send one in, and he was talking about that I wanted one for the kerosene. And he's learned a lot from the videos, been wanting to send you something you need. Thanks for the hours of entertainment and for sharing your knowledge. So thank you for the note, Chris. I really appreciate it. And then we've got another one right here. This is the same exact one. And this one is from James Royce from Massachusetts. He just says, enjoy the gift. Thanks for the great content. So thank you very much, James. And these will be put to good use. We'll use one for kerosene. And I'm sure I've got some other kind of chemical out there that I can go ahead and put in one of these other cans, and we will take our Sharpie and write on here what exactly is on these cans. And just for reference, if you got any kind of chemical or cleaner, petroleum-based product that you need to store it in a bulk amount, these are very nice, very high quality cans. They have the sealed lid right there that's got the cork, you know, the cork gasket. So it keeps the vapors and everything inside, and it's got the screen in there for filling it. You can use it for gasoline as well, you know, so any kind of petroleum product. And then I like having my cleaner in these so that I can just keep these in a small amount instead of having the big bucket, and then take this and then pour it over into the you know, the spray cans that I use. All right, so awesome stuff, guys. I really appreciate these, and they'll go to some good use. You guys often see this soft blow hammer in my videos. I use this on nearly every machine, and it is my favorite style of soft blow hammer that I have and that I use. I prefer this over all the other styles, including the you know, the leather, rawhide hammers, the lead, even, you know, brass, copper, those kind of things. I just really like this soft blow. I think it's an excellent hammer. So this was actually a gift that was given to me many years ago now. It's probably been 4, maybe 5 years. A gift from Mark Walraven from the Netherlands. He has been a longtime viewer, follows me on social media, and he's the one that had this hammer, give it to me, and I've been using it. And these are also the style hammers that I had used when I was with Motion as well. I think it's just a very well-balanced hammer. Plenty of weight up here, and I like the grip on it. It just works good. But Mart has been watching the videos, and he has noticed that I use this hammer all the time, just like I said I was going to do back in SNS 106. That's when I unveiled this hammer as a gift, and I've been using it you know, all these years around the shop. So Mart decided he wanted to go ahead and send me another hammer since he sees this one being used all over the shop. So he sent me another one, brand new, same size, except this is just a more modern version of it, just made by the same company though, and that's I'm trying to remember how you pronounce this. This is Austrian brand, Jidori, I believe it's how it's said. Jidori is the company. They've been business for many years, I think going on 100 years now, and it is an Austrian-made hammer. They do make these in different sizes as well. I think this is a good all-around size for general use around the shop. and it's just an excellent hammer. So Mart, thank you very much for the extra hammer here. We will definitely put it to use now. And so instead of having just one, I'll keep one on each end of the shop, and whichever one's closest is the one that I'll grab whenever I'm needing it. But definitely check these out. They're high quality, excellent hammers, replaceable nylon tips. I think they even make different materials for the ends if you want something different, such as copper or lead, or you can just make whatever you want there on the ends for the hammerhead. All right. Back whenever he sent this hammer, Mart had also sent a package of these guys right here, and a lot of you guys probably know what these are. They are called Stroop waffles, and they are delicious. And I will say that they're very sweet, and they're probably not very good for you to eat, but he did send me 2 more packs of these because he had sent these way back whenever he sent that hammer, and, and I enjoyed them back then. So I'm sure that I'm going to enjoy them now, but much more sparingly. I try my best to stay away from as much sweets as I can these days, and these will just be, a nice little treat to share. I'll probably go ahead and share one of these packs with my family there as well, so that they don't sit around and go bad or anything. But they are excellent, especially whenever you take them. And the way that they explained it to me, some of the viewers, was that you eat these with your coffee in the morning. So you take one out and you have a cup of coffee, and it's hot and it's steaming. Take one of these and set it over the top of the coffee, and the steam from the coffee actually makes this nice and warm, and it softens it up. It's like it's pressed with sugar. I don't know what they put it into it, but it's got sugar in there. It's almost like a honey consistency whenever it gets warmed up. So anyway, thank you very much, Mart, for the new hammer. It will go used around here all the time. So I'm going to say it like I said back in SNS 106. You're going to see it often in my videos. All right. Thanks, man. We have another really generous gift that come all the way from the Netherlands as well. This is a Starrett indicator set that was sent over, given to me by Ernie Groen. And what we got here is what appears to be a brand new, never used Starrett back plunge indicator set. Now, this is not the 196 that I typically share in my videos. So this one is the Starrett number 650. Let's see if we can get there we go. There's a little better look at the dial there. Starrett number 650. So it's similar to the Starrett 196 that I have often shown and used in my videos, but this is a complete kit minus the clamp. There was the C clamp in there as well. Maybe that got lost or removed or whatever. There's also one bar that's missing that went in that slot there. Otherwise, it's a complete kit. It's got the tool post block right there. You got this arm, the snug, and this indicator attachment right there. But Ernie had said in his letter that he had purchased this secondhand over there in the Netherlands, and he tried to sell it, and he never could. And he thinks the reason why is because this one is imperial. So we all know that in that region of the world, everything is measured in metric. And typically over here, a lot of what you see is imperial sizing. So he decided to go ahead and just send it to me instead. So Ernie, thank you very much. I do not have this in my Starrett collection or in my indicator selections. So I would really like to implement this in our work and start using this around here. It can be used very much like the Starrett number 196. I think this is just a little bit more elegant build from Starrett on this size right here. It's a little bit bigger, but it has many uses. These are also excellent for if you're going to tram in, say, a mill vise. You can actually just clamp this right in your collet or your drill chuck and come down and put this against your fixed jaw and run that across. So it's an excellent indicator for tramming in vices, but also many other uses there as well. So I enjoy having this, and Ernie, I'm going to put it to use. Hopefully we'll see this around, in some of our videos and some of our future projects. So thank you very much. Hey everybody, I wanted to give you a little update on some plans that Abby and I have made for this year. As many of you probably know, we do enjoy being able to travel whenever we have the opportunity to do that. And of course, I have the A-Bomb Adventures channel where I share a lot of those types of experiences and videos with you, whenever we travel or we camp, places like that. But last year, we were very fortunate to be able to take, a couple trips out west. One whenever we got married, and then the second one we went out to Colorado, and we did a drive through Colorado down into New Mexico and saw a lot of cool places that, for my first time being out there. And I've always had a love for the American Southwest, the Rocky Mountains, that entire region of that part of the country. And just within the past year or so have I been able to finally start seeing those places and enjoying them. And I really do love it out there. So, Florida is my home, and this is probably where I'll always be. But, we have aspirations of maybe one day having a place out, maybe in Colorado, but that's probably a long ways off. And when I say a place out in Colorado, maybe just maybe a small home somewhere that we share with the family, that we can have a place to go to when we go out there, because the Abby's family, they all love it out there too. Her mom and dad have been going out to Colorado in those areas for 40 years now. Ever since they met and got married, they've always taken vacations out there every year. So I'm glad to be a part of that now, that we go out there. And so we have aspirations of our own to be able to make maybe one trip a year out there to the west, to the Colorado mountains and the surrounding areas, such as Utah and Arizona and New Mexico and all of those places out there, even further north, Wyoming, Montana. I really like it out there, and I want to be able to see as much of that part of the country as I can. And so we hope to be able to make a trip once a year out there at the minimum. And so we've already had plans made this year that we're going to be making a trip out there for 2020. And as of things are going right now, we're just unsure of how everything is going to work out with this COVID being a major player in everybody's plans this year. But we do have plans made to go out there. We're going to be going out to Colorado, and I am going to be taking a few weeks off from the shop, and taking a few weeks off from working in the shop and doing projects and things like that. But I've been doing a lot of different jobs for the past couple of months and doing a lot of filming, so I still have a lot of videos to share with you of the projects that's been going on around there. I like to share with you at least one video a week. Typically on Saturdays, I like to bring you a video and share with you a project or a job that I've been doing in here. So I've got some things that I have already done, sent out, that I have not edited and published yet, but I will continue to have videos to share with you each week, whenever we go on our trip, for however long that trip is going to be. We know it's going to be a few weeks. It's going to take a little while to get up there. We are taking our camper. This is a camping trip, so we're not flying. We're going to drive up there. We're going to stay a little while and then make a trip back. I do have some stops planned on the way up that will involve, some filming for A-Bomb 79. I know that I have at least 2 shop tours planned, and hopefully we can make those happen. I have a couple of other YouTube creators that I plan on stopping and visiting with on the way, and getting some video with them to share on the channel as well. So I do have some planned videos in store for the A-Bomb 79 channel. And of course, I'll have plenty of the travel videos of the places we go and visit over on A-Bomb Adventures. And I may be coming up with a little bit different way of sharing some of those videos over on A-Bomb Adventures as well. We may do some more like timeline style videos where we're just showing you what we did for the day and throw it up on the channel instead of doing a full-blown edited video. But those are just ideas just popping around in my head. So we do have a lot of good things in store, and I appreciate everybody hanging out and continuing to support the channel and enjoying the videos. And like I said, don't worry, I'm still going to have plenty of videos to share with you whenever we take this break. But we look forward to this. It's something that we're very passionate about, and I'm glad that I'm to a point in my life where I can finally start traveling and seeing new places, because the past few years of traveling really has been the first bit of traveling I have ever truly done, besides just local, you know, within a 6-hour drive of home here. When I first started going to the Bar Z Bash, which I believe was 2015 maybe, or 14, one of those years, that was the first time that I've ever taken a major trip like that, you know, went out to California. And, you know, since Abby and I being together, she's very passionate about travel, and I've always wanted to be able to do it, just wasn't ever in a position to. We're both now in a position where we can do that every now and then, so we like to take the opportunity when we can. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that. We're very excited about it, and I look forward to having these other filming opportunities away from here, some new places I've never seen, visit some new folks I've never met before, and I'm just really looking forward to this, and especially getting up into the Rocky Mountains where it's a lot cooler than down here in Florida, and just really enjoying that trip. So stay tuned. I have a lot of good stuff in store for you. Thank you everybody for the continued support, and we'll be seeing you very soon.